Hi folks. I wanted to do another video. There were a lot of questions after yesterday's video, so I wanted to do another one. I had some time today in between workings. Mondays and Tuesdays are very busy for me. I think everybody wants to get in on Monday is Eleguas Day, and everybody wants to get in on that opening road and obstacle removing energy, and then Tuesday is Ogun's Day, and I love working with him for prosperity and also to clear paths for employment and any financial work, so which is very common in my line of work for a client request. So those are two very busy days. The beginning of my week, that's pretty much all I do. But I had a bit of time before I start my next session, and so I thought I would answer a few of the questions that arose from yesterday's video. I was going to take you guys outside with me today to the cemetery because I have an offering to leave for Oya. A neighbor of mine dropped off some beautiful hot Hungarian peppers, and I wanted to take them over to the cemetery and leave them in offering for her. I don't typically keep food that's given to me, especially if it's in trade for a service. I don't keep it. It's always returned back in offering. So I wanted to do that today, but it's pouring rain out, and so I can't take you with me. But I wanted to show you the cemetery that I work at, and we'll do that sometime soon, because there was also a question about cemetery earth. You know, different not necessarily different ways to gather it, but where to gather it from, and so on and so forth. So, but we'll talk about that sometime when the weather is nice. So, back to talking about evoking and invoking spirit. There were a few more questions that I got from clients, so it's fun for me to answer those. So that's what I'm going to do. Someone had asked if you can invoke spirit as a solitary, because I had mentioned in yesterday's video that it's typically something you would do in a group, and I would still, I'm not going to say you could never do it as a solitary. Of course you can if you want to, but I think the effects of it and it's part of ritual, it's part of ceremony, and typically when you're invoking a spirit, you're doing that so the people who have gathered at this ceremony can be blessed by that spirit. And you will act out, in physical mannerisms of that spirit. You will do things that you never typically do. You may smoke cigars, you may drink, there's lots of things that happen depending on the spirit that is invoked in your body and that takes possession of your body. So I wouldn't necessarily say that that's something that a lot of people just do on their own, simply because it is for the act of blessing others, or during a ceremony of healing. So you would have that other person there that you're healing, and it would be people coming to the ceremony, coming to the ritual, because they know that that's what's taking place, and they would be coming in asking for a blessing from that deity or spirit that has been invoked in the chosen person's body. So really you do it for other people, because it's while it's a beautiful process, it's exhausting, and I would say it's not the safest thing to do alone, in my opinion, just because the whole thing is pretty over the top and pretty dramatic, and there's you are capable of superhuman qualities that you aren't normally. So you're doing things that are out of characteristic. So I don't know if it's necessarily the safest thing to do alone as a solitary. So I hope I answered that. And okay, so why can you invoke a spirit to thank them, or do you have to be asking for something? I don't see invoking the spirit as you are physically becoming that spirit. So you wouldn't invoke a spirit to thank it, because then you're like, you don't have your mind. You don't have your own mind about you. So you'd be like thanking yourself. So that doesn't make a whole lot of sense to me, to invoke a spirit to thank it for something in your life. That's something that you would want to do on a daily basis, with your prayers and with your right mindset. So like I said, that doesn't make a whole lot of sense to me. I'm not saying that there's not, there's billions of people out there, and lots of different religious sects and lots of different religious beliefs and traditions. So I'm not saying that it's not out there somewhere. So, and I also, if you are invoking the spirit or taking part in possession, I don't think that you're not going to be asking for anything at that time. You may ask for something beforehand and then make yourself a vessel. But at that time, like I said, your mind and body no longer belongs to you. So you don't have the capability of thinking, okay, I want to ask this now, because you're not you any longer. Like I said, if you wanted to, do it beforehand and think of something that you wanted to ask for, but typically this is for other people to experience. This is for other people. This is an avenue and a venue for other people to experience the spirit. And of course, you take your own experiences from it too. But for me, in the rituals that I've done, this is something you do for the other participants. It's not something that you gain, that you have soul gain from. Like I said, you do gain things in certain aspects, but this is mainly something that you, in my experience, you would do as a group. And the other question was, can a spirit possess you of its own free will, or do you have to purposefully and intentionally invoke it or take part in possession? This absolutely can happen. I'm not going to say it's typical. I think that when you prepare a space and you're gathering people and you're preparing that energy and you're raising that energy and you're drawing your veves or your sigils as these sort of barriers or portals between this world and the next. When you make all those preparations, obviously it's easier to invoke that way. It does happen though, to where it's happened to me during my work. If I've been working with someone, on a certain situation for a very long time, and I'm making items for them. I'll totally check out for a while, and then I come back and I realize that it wasn't necessarily me making those items or performing that working, that I had a spirit come into me at that time, or a saint or deity, and take over during that, because I'll have a little lapse where I don't remember everything got done, but I'll have a little lapse where I kind of check out there. It doesn't happen often, but I do know that it has happened to me. I would say over 15 years it's happened quite a lot of times. Not often, but adding up 15 years of experience, yeah, it's happened quite a few times. So so that absolutely can happen. I don't want to say that it's common, but it can happen. So those are the other points that or the other questions that I had been brought up since yesterday's video, and I'm looking forward to doing some more of these. I'm hoping to do some sort of book reviews. I just got a couple of new books, and this is one of them. So I'll let you look at that for a sec. And so the Candle and the Crossroads, that's kind of, it seems to be pretty popular right now. There's a lot of reviews on it. Most are good, some are bad. So I'm reading that right now, and I just want to, hopefully I'll be able to start doing reviews on books and recommending books to you that I think are of a certain caliber to help you guys out and aid you in your work and your practices and your paths. So, but I'm way over time now. I'm almost at 10 minutes. So thanks for watching, and I love hearing all of the comments and questions. I really appreciate all the support with these videos. And there are links to my Facebook page and my shop all over my YouTube page and at the bottom of this video. So please stop by and join me. And like I said, I love hearing from you, and I wish you a very blessed week. Ache.